Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Game week 4 is still going and it's going awfully bad for me, but it's time to start preparing for game week 5. I'm going to prepare the best team, that's my opinion, for game week 5, and we're going to find some differentials at the end to build a proper 11 where you can adjust the players and maybe get a differential to boost your rank. Currently, this is my template of a team. That is my team. You see the names behind it. It's how it's made, but over it we'll prepare for game week 5. The most important thing for starting the preparation, as always, is going to bring in the captain option. Am I going to prepare the game week 5 team? I'm going to pick the best 11 players and I'll pick some bench options that are just there to fill the budget. So basically that team is a team of players that you can bring into your side and just be done with it. I'm going to believe that this team can improve, especially when we see all of the games. Currently, Chelsea and Bournemouth face against each other. It's still 0-0, so we don't know how well they are going to end up the game. But I wanted to prepare the video and have it for the morning when you all wake up and we can see it together. So let's start and pick up some players. Initially, I will just return the fodder that I have. It doesn't matter, it's going to go as cheap as possible. So I'm picking 3 defenders only to play once again. I'll be deciding between a 4.5 attacker or a midfielder, but that's later on, and a 4.0 keeper immediately. As mentioned, the most important part in picking that squad is going for a captain option, and in my opinion there are two, let's say 3 captain options, but 2 stand out more than the rest. First of all is Mohamed Salah. I know that he didn't have a best time against Nottingham Forest, but I believe he will be angry and he will want to prove himself in the next fixture. It's Bournemouth who are playing reasonably well against Chelsea so far, as I'm seeing currently, but yeah, still I would like to get the points from Mohamed Salah in my opinion, so I'm going to return him into my squad. He is into my team, so it's just a return. Next up, the other captain option that I want to mention here is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is playing currently against Bournemouth. It's not the best game so far, but still he is an amazing pick. And Arsenal facing City. It's not that amazing. Spurs facing Brentford, it's not looking that good for some Spurs players. So I believe that Chelsea have the second easiest fixture from that bunch. So I'm selecting immediately Cole Palmer. Even though he's away from home, I'm going to pick him. Erling Haaland it has been a staple in all of my teams so far, but facing against Arsenal, I'm not going to select him. The same goes for the Arsenal players because I believe this is going to be a hard-fought victory for one of the sides, but I cannot bet on which one, so I'm going to steer clear from that, and that will enable a lot of budget going forward. Seeing the fixture run, Southampton is against Ipswich and Leicester face Everton, so in theory the 4 worst sides currently face off against each other, but that doesn't mean that we cannot pick some of their players, especially because Everton are conceding goals for fun. Leicester are conceding as well, so we can target that. Southampton has been pretty poor. Ipswich has been okay, to say the least, so I'm going to introduce the first player from those 4 games, and that's Leif Davis. 4.5 defender, you cannot go wrong there in my opinion. He's a pretty good option. Immediately into the frame comes another player that has been pretty good so far, Jamie Vardy. He scored against Spurs and against Palace today, and he can continue being a menace. That means that I already have my cheap players. I can now start preparing with something big, and that big is going to go into defense. Liverpool face Bournemouth. Bournemouth are a good side, don't get me wrong, but Liverpool will want to get a win after a disappointing result at Anfield against Forest, so I'm immediately getting into my lineup Alexander-Arnold. I don't see myself not going for him. I'm quite sure that I may want to go for Robertson as well, but let's look at my other options and let's discuss them. Palace face Man United, so that's another 50-50 game. I expect United to score goals, so I may consider Bruno Fernandes from them, even though he hasn't been the most amazing. This game week 5 is going to be so tricky to maneuver around the fixtures because they're just not that good, and I feel like a lot of teams are going to suffer because apart from, I don't even know that Brighton fixture against Forest is considered easy one because Forest played really well against Liverpool defensively. Brighton didn't manage to break Ipswich without a proper setup from Joao Pedro, so it's looking tricky. Either way, the team that has been conceding a lot of goals is Wolves. They haven't played yet on the time of recording, but still I'm bringing in Oli Watkins. For me, unless he gets an injury against Young Boys in the Champions League, he is going to start. I know Duran has been amazing as well, but still I would consider getting Watkins. Next up on my radar, even though Spurs are having a bad fixture considering that they're facing Brentford, I believe that they can score against anyone. And I will be picking another player from Spurs. That's going to be Heung-min Son immediately into the frame. That increases the budget so much, and by the looks of it, we are most probably going to go for a 3-5-2 because I don't fancy a lot of other strikers, like from Fulham I don't know, from West Ham, Chelsea it's Jackson, but still not ideal. From Liverpool, no way. Southampton, Ipswich, no. Maybe Solanke is a good option, but still no. Mateta might be an option against Manchester United, and I might highly consider that when I continue building the team. But for sure, one player that I want to get in is from Brentford, and that is Mbeumo. We found out that Eze is not so much nailed on penalties, but for sure we know that Mbeumo is now 1,000,000% on them. Wissa has went with an injury. Then there was some issues with what's his name, Tony, who is out. So Mbeumo is really the only good striker that is fit currently. So I will be going for Mbeumo. We have 21 million for 4 players, so by the looks of it, if we deduct 4.5, that's around 17 million, so we can fit some expensive guys. Wanting to spread the funds, but I don't know what and when to spread exactly. I might still go for Isaac, even though he faces Fulham, who conceded a goal in the 95th minute and just removed the clean sheet from my team. But still, Powers, Mateta may be an option against United. United are looking more solid than expected, but I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet against Powers. Yeah, let's give it to Mateta. I feel like he deserves it after the cameo that he had today. So that means that we're restoring a 4.5 player, and we're with 9.8 to finalize the squad. That's not a lot of budget, to be fair, but we can go for a 4.5 keeper. And even though Forest kept a pretty good game, they did not look very threatening, so I will pick Verburgen in goal. And that leaves me with 5.3, which is not ideal. For a defender, where we can go for a defender, Chelsea no, Villa no, Fulham, Newcastle probably not, Leicester, Everton no, Liverpool maybe, but it's not looking likely. If we go for a 4.4, we cannot still afford Alisson with my budget. Spurs, Brentford, that last defensive spot is really hard to nail on, but we picked Verburgen. Should we pick Eina and just rely on another 0-0 draw? I'm not quite sure. City, Arsenal, no way. This fixture is really hard for basically everyone. Villa, I'm not going to save Villa players. I may just get Robinson because he has been so attacking, even though he faces Newcastle. Newcastle, we're not sure with the fullback situation, so yeah, I am just going to return Robinson and be done with it. I feel like this is a good thing to do, and we have 3 attacking defenders. We have the 4.0 options. We have a lot of expensive players in the team, several good captain options. Yeah, I quite like it, so let's push it here and let's see how it looks. So that's Verburgen, Robinson. He remains. Here is Leaf Davis. Then it is going to be Son. Here it's going to be Palmer. And the final guy here was Mbeumo. A lot of expensive players were added into that lineup. This guy leaves for Mateta. This is out for Watkins, and Vardy comes in. Then on the bench, we have 0.4 with Eina, and we're just dropping it to Greaves, let's say. So yeah, I consider that a pretty solid team with Salah captain. So yeah, Salah captain. So I quite like it. I don't know what you think about it, but yeah, this is the best team that we can prepare, in my opinion, going into game week 5. Now let's see and find some cheap players that we can move around as with differential players and consider them differential. So we're sorting by team selected by, And we're starting in goal. Verburgen remains here as he's only 1.9 owned. Leave Davis remains as he's low owned. Trent will have to leave. Robinson, I believe, will have to leave. Bentley is not a good option. These guys are leaving. I don't think. Oh, Son is differential, so Son remains. I don't think. Oh, Mbumo is differential. Okay, I will go for Mbumo as well. Yeah, he is not considered. Mateta, I believe. Yep, he is. Watkins, no way. And I believe Vardy is still. Okay, so we have a good core of players that are considered good differentials. So let's continue with building the 15 players. It's going to get harsh to find some players as it's very hard to pinpoint players exactly this week, but we can pinpoint some teams and we can be done with it. So in go, let's see another player with a 4 point less than 10% ownership. Fulham seems to be struggling to score in goals, so I may go for Pope as an option. Onana no, Sanchez no, I don't like it. Vicario no, Lenu no. Yeah, I will go with Pope as a differential option. Not great, not terrible, somewhere in the mix. Let's go now and pick defenders. So under 10%, Ben White is here. Dunk is a consideration for sure. Robertson is a consideration as a Liverpool defender. Trippier, Gine, no. Cucurella, no. No, I don't fancy them. Ruben Taylor, Johnson, no. Oof, it's not that easy as I thought. Eina, of course, I will pick him. He's a solid option. And then the last player here that I would like to add. Who is it going to be, guys? We're looking for a final. So maybe Tete as a Fulham defender. Yeah, he played the whole game today. Am I right? Yes. So we can go with Tete. So defense is set for differentials. Let's go with midfielders. And let's see what we can select. Son Mbumo, Bernardo Semenyo, but not against Liverpool. Foden not yet. Bowen. Bowen is a good shout out, even though Chelsea are having a good fixture. Considering to score goals, I believe that they are bad defensively. So Bowen can do the job here. Kudus Nkunku, Mainu, Amat. Amat is not a bad shout out as he faces Crystal Palace, who have been conceding, and he has played some solid football today. So I will add Amat to the frame. Shout out to Benek, who is still with him since the start of the season. Rashford, Minteno, someone that catches the eye. Let's see. Sorry doing it live, guys, and I'm really struggling to see. Maybe someone from Villa like Tillemans or McGinn, but yeah, I don't fancy it. Ward Prowse is interesting one, starting to play. Oof. McNeil is an interesting one. Assist, go and assist. I will go with McNeil. I know that Everton have not been great, but still I can rely on him. And from the forward line, Muniz, Vardy, Jackson. Maybe Jackson is a good shout out. Yeah, let's put Jackson in. Okay, so we have our differential players. We have our best team. So the best team is Verburgen, Robinson, Trent, and Davis. In my opinion, Son, Salah, Palmer, and Boom. It's too hard to pinpoint a defender in that game week 5. Up front, Vardy, Watkins, and Mateta. A lot of home fixtures, several away, but it's quite good. The bench is not relevant. Here you can see some differential players. I hope you enjoy it. Last week I know I said that Watkins is not that amazing, but yeah, he proved me so wrong, and I admit my mistake. I did not expect him to do the thing he did. But yeah, we learn from our mistake and keep going. If you can take someone from this team or someone from the other team, is going to be good. If someone is differential, so on both teams, that's the most amazing things to consider. But we need to monitor European football because that's going to come this week. So be prepared and be ready to update the team around the European fixture, and just know that everything can happen, and even on some good decisions with bad outcome, we keep going and we keep going strong. Thank you for the support. It has been amazing. If you can just drop a subscribe and a like to the video, that will mean the all the best for me. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.